Have you ever felt like you're waiting for someone, but you don't even know who? Sometimes your spirit senses it before your eyes ever do. You're not imagining things. Your soul is responding to divine timing. This is not a coincidence. God has already chosen who will walk into your life. Not just anyone, a divine connection, a destined soul, a spiritual assignment. And when the time is right, they will appear. If you're ready for this encounter, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and comment 99 below, because in the Book of Wisdom, 99 represents completeness, and you're about to experience God's fullness in your journey. Have you ever felt it? That strange pull, like you're waiting for someone, but you don't even know who. A name you've never heard, a face you've never seen, and yet, something deep inside you knows. It's not loneliness. It's not fantasy. It's alignment, because your soul remembers what your mind forgot. God already made the decision. Before you prayed, before you searched, He chose who will appear in your life. And this person is not coming to visit your path. They are part of it. Not a distraction, not a detour, a divine appointment written in eternity. You were never meant to chase people. You were meant to recognize purpose. And now, something is shifting. Something is coming. And when they arrive, your spirit will know this was the one heaven whispered about in silence, the one your heart has been preparing for without even realizing. If this resonates with you, hit the like button now to agree in the spirit. Subscribe if you're one of the chosen, because this is only the beginning. And comment 99 below, because 99 means the shepherd is bringing the missing piece back to your destiny. Let's go deeper. There's something terrifying about silence, about waiting. You look around, and it feels like everyone is meeting their people, finding their purpose, living their divine moments, and yet, you're still here, still in the hallway, still holding the door open to something you can't see. But listen carefully. You are not behind. God doesn't operate on your clock. He's not checking your watch. He's not responding to your panic. He moves by purpose, not pressure. And His timing, it's not just perfect, it's prophetic. You may feel late, but you're right on schedule for a miracle. You may feel forgotten, but you've been set apart for something others aren't prepared to carry. Heaven is not delayed, it's deliberate. God doesn't rush what He intends to last. He's not just sending someone into your life. He's crafting a meeting that carries eternal weight. And right now, in the unseen, there are conversations happening that you haven't heard, hearts being stirred that you haven't touched, paths being shifted that you haven't walked yet. God is orchestrating a collision that only divine timing could make possible. This is not about if it will happen. This is about when. Because God's timing isn't about coincidence. It's about covenant. It's not random. It's sacred. Some delays aren't delays at all. They're divine intervals, preparing you to meet what your soul was designed to recognize. And while you're wondering if they're coming, God is making sure you'll be ready when they do. But here's the twist. Sometimes, before the person arrives, the pressure increases. The silence grows louder. The doubts start shouting. Why? Because just before divine alignment, the enemy will whisper misalignment. He'll try to convince you it's never going to happen. He'll try to distract you with counterfeits. He'll try to rush you into less, so you miss what's truly meant. But don't fall for it. What God has planned doesn't need to be forced. It will flow. It will feel right. It will be divine. And the moment it happens, you'll look back and realize every second of waiting was God protecting what He promised. The countdown has already started. The alignment is already happening. And what's coming next will make the wait feel like nothing. Because when heaven moves, it moves suddenly. Not everyone in your life was sent. Some just showed up. Some arrived by circumstance. Some were lessons, not legacies. But there are a few, a very few, who aren't just passing through. They were assigned, handpicked by God, marked with a mission, branded by purpose. You see, chosen one, your journey isn't ordinary, so your connections can't be either. You weren't built to bond with the many. You were wired to identify the rare, the sacred, the assigned. Because when you're carrying divine fire inside you, you can't afford to link arms with anything that dilutes your flame. Most people don't recognize who you are. They see the surface, not the soul. They hear your voice, but they can't discern your echo. But the one God is assigning to your life, they won't need explanations. They'll feel you in silence. They'll understand your language, even when you're not speaking, because they've been prepared, just like you. And here's the secret no one tells you. The enemy knows about the assignment too. He knows who you're meant to meet. So he sends distractions in disguise. People who look divine, but carry delay. People who say the right things, but shift your frequency. People who feel intense, but aren't intentional. Be careful, because not every deep connection is divine. Some are crafted to confuse your discernment, to drain your oil, to keep you so entangled with emotional noise you can't hear the knock of the one who was actually sent. But when the assigned one comes, it won't feel like chaos. It'll feel like clarity. You'll breathe differently. You'll think sharper. You'll feel seen, not for your brokenness, but for your blueprint. They won't distract you. They'll activate you. They'll speak to your calling without even realizing it. They'll challenge you without competing. They'll make you rise without making you run. And in that moment you'll realize, this wasn't a meeting. It was a divine merger. Two souls that were once separated by time, now reunited by purpose. But here's where it gets even deeper. What if the person God assigned to your life is also searching for you right now? What if they're feeling the same pull, the same ache, the same invisible anticipation, not knowing that it's your soul calling theirs? What if you're not just waiting, you're being watched by heaven? Both of you moving closer, step by silent step, toward the moment where destiny says, now. And that moment? It's coming faster than you think. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal next might shift the way you see your entire life until now. Something has changed inside you, hasn't it? You can feel it, even if you can't fully explain it. The things that once excited you now feel empty. Conversations that used to keep you entertained now feel shallow. People you used to run toward now drain you. And maybe, if you're honest, you've started to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why does everything feel different? Why do you feel like you're outgrowing everything around you? Let me tell you the truth. You're not breaking down. You're being built up. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. God is detoxing your spirit, cleansing your atmosphere, stripping away what's familiar to make room for what's holy. Lately, your soul has been craving something deeper, not just friendship, but alignment. Not just attention, but truth. Not just company, but calling. That's not coincidence. That's spiritual readiness. You're being tuned, like an instrument, to resonate only with what carries heaven's frequency. He's cutting cords you didn't have the strength to cut yourself. He's silencing voices you kept tolerating. He's rearranging your life, not for comfort, but for collision. A collision with purpose, with the one he's preparing for you. Because here's what most people never see. Before divine encounters arrive externally, they start internally. Your desires change, your discernment sharpens, your spirit begins to reject anything that feels out of sync with destiny. And yes, it feels lonely. Painfully so. But that loneliness, it's not punishment. It's proof that God is pulling you out of the crowd so you can recognize the voice of the one he's sending. You can't hear divine whispers when your life is full of noise. So God quiets your world, not to leave you alone, but to bring you into alignment. He's not hiding you. He's positioning you, strategically, intentionally. Every delay, every closed door, every goodbye. It wasn't random, it was recalibration. Because the person you're meant to meet isn't coming into a cluttered space. They're walking into order. They're stepping into a heart that's been purified, a spirit that's been trained to see beyond the surface. And the most powerful sign of all, you're not desperate, you're not chasing, you're expecting, because your soul already knows something sacred is near. But here's what will shake you. The moment you stop searching is the moment it finds you, because divine alignment doesn't respond to striving, it responds to surrender. And right now, even as you listen to this, God is watching your posture, and heaven is getting closer. Don't move, don't settle, don't shrink, because the next shift isn't emotional, it's divine. And when it happens, it won't feel like a beginning. It'll feel like everything finally makes sense. Ready for the next revelation? Because what's coming next is not what you're expecting. There is a sacred truth that most people never hear. But you, chosen one, need to know this now. The person God is preparing for your life is not coming to complete you. They're coming to confirm you. They won't just fit into your world, they will fit your spirit. Not because of how they look, not because of shared interests, but because something in their presence will echo something inside of you that you thought no one else could ever understand. When they speak, you'll feel your anointing stir. Not just emotions, but activation. The fire in you that's been waiting for a reason to roar will finally have space to burn. This person will not be attracted to your image. They will be drawn to your assignment. They will look at your scars and not flinch because they carry their own. They won't try to fix you. They'll call you forth. You won't have to prove yourself. You won't have to shrink or shift or filter your light. They will meet you at your depth, not your surface. Because here's the secret. This connection is not based on personality. It's not built on preference. It's forged in purpose. Two lives that were written to reflect the same divine blueprint. Two voices carrying different frequencies, but tuned to the same mission. They'll see past your distractions. They'll hear the purpose in your silence. They'll speak to the warrior in you when all you feel is weakness. You won't need to explain why you're different. They'll already know, because they've walked the fire too. They've carried silence that shaped them. They've endured the breaking that birthed their vision. And when your lives align, it won't feel like addition. It'll feel like acceleration. You'll find yourself dreaming bigger, praying deeper, walking bolder. Not because they're forcing you, but because they remind you of who you've always been. And it goes both ways, because you weren't sent to admire them, you were sent to activate them. Your voice will unlock rooms inside of them they forgot existed. Your presence will shake off lies they've carried for years. You'll awaken each other, not in chaos, not in control, but in calling. This is what the enemy doesn't want you to realize. The real divine connection isn't comfortable, it's catalytic. It will interrupt cycles, break patterns, expose what's fake, and thrust both of you deeper into God's original plan. But be warned, this kind of bond isn't common. It's costly. It requires healing. It requires courage. And it only appears when both hearts are ready to carry the weight of purpose together. This is not romance for romance's sake. This is destiny in human form. And when you meet them, it won't be about chemistry. It will be about confirmation. You won't say, "This feels nice." You'll say, "This feels right." Because your spirit will recognize what your soul's been whispering for years. This is the one who carries the other half of my fire. And if that truth just lit something in you, you're not imagining it. Stay with me. Because what comes next will confront every false attachment you've ever held on to and free you for what's real. Let's talk about the part that still hurts. The empty seats, the unanswered questions, the memories that sneak in when everything else gets quiet. You gave your heart to people who didn't know what to do with it. You trusted souls that were never built to carry your spirit. And when they left, it felt like betrayal. Like something sacred was stolen. But hear this now. They were never the promise. They were part of the process. Not your future, just your formation. God didn't let them stay, not because you were unworthy, but because they were unprepared. They couldn't see you. They couldn't cover you. They couldn't walk with a fire they were never anointed to touch. Yes, it felt personal, but it was spiritual, because when you carry destiny on your life, God will protect it, even if it breaks your heart to do so. Some people had to go, not because they were evil, but because they were incomplete assignments, sent only for a season, not a covenant. And as long as you keep replaying what they did, you'll stay stuck in a version of yourself that God has already outgrown. You weren't abandoned. You were extracted, pulled out of counterfeit comfort to make room for something holy. Because here's the truth no one wants to face. If they could walk away from you, they were never rooted in you. God removes to make room. He subtracts to multiply. You had to learn what love isn't so your spirit could recognize what love from heaven truly is. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. And now? Now you're finally in position. Your heart is cleaner. Your discernment is sharper. Your oil is more expensive. Your gates are guarded. So when the real thing arrives, you won't sabotage it. You'll steward it. You won't question its peace. You'll recognize its frequency, because you felt the opposite. You had to bleed through the false so you could breathe in the true, and make no mistake. What's coming is not another lesson. It's not another test. It's the fulfillment, the sacred echo of what heaven promised before you even knew how to ask. But you can't carry the sacred if your hands are still clinging to the shattered. You've cried enough. You've waited long enough. Now it's time to let go. Because the next knock on your door won't be a repeat. It'll be redemption. And when it arrives, you'll understand why God had to say no to everything that once made you beg Him for a yes. Something divine is approaching. And it's not just going to heal what hurt you. It's going to make you thankful it ever happened. Stay close. Because in the final moments of this message, I'm about to give you a revelation that will rewrite how you see your entire journey. Chosen one. You have no idea how close you are. The shift is not coming. It's already happening. In the spirit. In the silence. In the places no one sees. Heaven has already spoken. The decision has been made. And what was written for you cannot be unwritten. Not by delay, not by betrayal, not even by your own doubts. You are standing on holy ground. Every battle you survived, every goodbye you endured, every storm that should have crushed you was shaping you for this exact moment in time. The meeting is not a maybe. It's a mandate. God doesn't improvise. He orchestrates. And what He has aligned for you is moving. It's breathing. It's already on the way. But listen, this next chapter won't require striving. It will require stillness. It won't require pretending. It will demand authenticity. Because when this connection appears, it will not ask you to dim your light. It will demand that you rise in it. You don't need to chase. You don't need to force. You just need to stand in who you are. Unapologetically, unshakably, unmovably. Because the divine doesn't respond to noise. It responds to alignment. And now, you're no longer becoming. You've become. The one who once searched is now the one who attracts. The one who once doubted is now the one who commands. The one who once waited is now the one who's ready. This was never about finding someone. It was about finding yourself, the version of you who could carry what heaven is about to release. And now, you are that version. So lift your head, open your heart, and listen closely. They're coming. And when they appear, you won't need confirmation. You'll feel it in your bones. This is the one God chose, not just for your life, but for your legacy. Comment below. I'm not waiting, I'm aligned. Declare it in faith. Claim it in the Spirit. Let heaven hear you. Let hell fear you. Because from this moment forward, you walk different. You speak different. You are different. It's done. It's written. It's yours.